design community. And then also we want to build long-term relationships with the schools, so we really understand what the top design schools are looking for and how we can help them, and also just be aware of what students are doing. And so every year what we do is we pick a topic. So this year's topic is the new ways of working. And I'll just give you a little setup for what we do. So in the beginning, probably in the fall, we pick some of the top design schools. Typically we rotate these, so we have a different set every year. We pick liaisons from different groups across Microsoft, so this is research, design, and a lot of the incubation labs. And then we also pick a topic, and like I said, this year's is new ways of working. And then we give each participating school a small unconditional grant, and each school then does a semester-long course on the topic. And there are just a few themes that we really like to emphasize in the course. So first of all the teams are interdisciplinary teams. This was a lot more important in the early days when design schools and computer science schools seemed like they were sort of at opposite ends of the world. It's probably, it's been great to see how all these worlds have sort of merged together over the years of doing this program. So this year we have 7 schools. Each school has multiple teams, typically 3 to 8 different project teams that all work on the same project, and then each school, together with their liaison, picks one project to come out here and show their work. So when they come here and show their work, it's not a competition, it's just basically everybody has done a great job and is showing work that they've done. So today's presentation, the way that it works is each team that was selected will come out, they'll give about a 10-minute presentation, and then we'll get feedback from our external critics. So let me just give you a little shot of some of the projects that you're not seeing today. So I'll just kind of blast through some of these. There's a lot more, and if you're interested in any of these, you can definitely contact the professors to get more information, or me, on some of the projects you haven't seen. So this is Heidi. It's a really cool project about social networking and sort of getting started with your job. This one is about unemployment, so finding a job. This is a really big problem. These are some projects from the design school in Mexico City. NIBU is about tools for micro businesses, so not our sort of giant enterprise customers, but it's a business of one person or a half person. What kind of tools might they have that they want to take with them on the go? Then we have some projects about team collaboration. So how do you know which teams you should be working with and the things that they're working on, and how do we help build collaboration teams across, collaboration tools for team collaboration, and then tools for yourself. How do you just keep track of what you're doing, your friends, and sort of use the social networking model to discover new people and connect to new things. These are some really interesting projects. This is one from our design school in China for tools for doctors who are using traditional medicines to work with their patients and to keep track of all the different medicines. And then basically a set of tools for vendors in one of the big markets in Beijing to better be able to sell and prepare their information. So it's sort of a physical environment to show off your wares that you're bringing in to the market. This is kind of a fun one. It's a tool to help other people walk your dog for you. So if you need a job and you're kind of down and out of your luck, you can walk your dog. So it's a physical device that sort of reminds people when they're supposed to walk your dog. And then we have some projects from UW, which are about meetings. So this one is about meeting and keeping track in a lightweight way of who you're supposed to meet with, and then also being able to bring your PCs together and sort of lock them together in bigger grids. So you kind of take your tablet PCs or whatever and stick them together and kind of create these giant work surfaces. And then also a wristband. This one I thought was pretty cool. It's a new model for a calendar. So kind of building off the metaphor of a watch, but expanding time out to be more than the 12 hours that we typically see on our watches. So those are cool projects. There's a bunch more, like I said, and if you're interested in those, please contact me or the professors. So just so you know who's here, not all these students are graduate students. We also work with a lot of schools that have undergrads. So imagine you're an undergrad from Mexico City or some school, and you're coming here for the first time. I think it's been pretty amazing to see the work that all the schools have done. And I'll just quickly run through the schools that are here. We have Carnegie Mellon, the design department, and we have Shelley Evanson and Bruce Hannington who are here, 2 professors, and Monica Gonzalez from Office Design Group was the liaison. We have CAFA, or Central Academy of Fine Arts, from Beijing, and June Fei is here, is the professor somewhere, and Dave Ronay was the liaison. Art Center College of Design from Pasadena with Karen Hoffman and Brian Boyle and Craig Halley was the liaison there from XDR. Oops, I see a typo. No. Universidad Iberoamericana from Mexico City. Jorge Aguilar and Ariel Mendez with Andy Cargile and Vincent Ball as their liaisons. From Dundee, we have Graham Pullen and John Rogers and Richard Banks. Somewhere out there is the liaison. NYU with Nancy Heckinger, and I was the liaison to that school, and then the University of Washington with Axel Rossler and George Peshnik was the liaison there. So it's really important for us, as you can see, to get a really wide representation from a lot of different teams at Microsoft, and then also out there in the world. We try to get a really diverse group of schools to show you ideas from all different places. We also have some critics for you. It's really important for the students not to just get feedback from us. So Curtis Wong at the bottom, who's a research manager, and Michael Casper and I sort of organized a lot of this, but it's really important for them to get external feedback from some heavies in the design industry. So we have Joy Mountford, who's the founder of her own company, ID Bias. Did I say that right? I always say it wrong, but anyway, ID Bias. And Joy actually started this concept a long time ago back at Apple when I was an intern in her group. So we have a great long connection to Joy Mountford, who many of you probably know has done a lot of work in human-computer interaction. Brady Forrest is here from O'Reilly Media, and many of you have probably heard of the web and Web 2.0. Well, he works with Tim O'Reilly, and Brady's just a great contact. He probably knows every cool new thing that's happening now and is going to happen, so he's just a great resource for new cool stuff. And Chris Pratley, who is the general manager here at Microsoft for Office Labs, and I think their lab is just a great model for how we can work differently within our own company to kind of collaborate and get new ideas out more quickly. So with that, we'll bring on the first school, which is Carnegie Mellon. And again, they'll speak for about 10 minutes and then give feedback. So come on up.
Good afternoon. We're grad students from Carnegie Mellon University, and